Coach Greg. In today's video, the Tren twins declaring war on Coach Greg. They've had enough. And oh, it's clickbait titles. It never happened. And so the Tren twins and others, they're calling me a liar, saying it's clickbait. They're saying that I said that the Tren twins had died. I never said that. What about the thumbnail and title? You realize you're spreading misinformation? That was as well. And so, okay, let's talk about the thumbnail and the title right now. In the thumbnail, it says, killed by caffeine. Do you know where I got that?
Imagine that, killed by caffeine.
And so I'm reacting to their video, and I post their video in my video, and I said, guess what? They were taken to hospital. Did I say they had died? Or did I post a video saying what they said? And so the truth hurts. Perhaps you should have listened to your coach. Did Coach Kyle tell you to drink all that? I don't think so. I see video after video, ego lifting, cheating on the diet, saying, oh, we're going to compete, we're going to get pro cards. What are you talking about? You can't even make it to a competition. And so I reached out to the Tren twins, asking them questions and so on, and this is their response. I didn't read what you said. Please never text me again. I could care less about any advice you give me or claim to give me. If I died tomorrow from steroids, pre-workout, whatever you said, the furthest thing I will think of is, I wish I listened to Greg Doucette. Coach Greg is saying, stop abusing performance-enhancing drugs. Stop abusing pre-workouts, caffeine, etc. Stop ego lifting in the gym. If you keep doing it, you're going to get hurt. Or worse. What was the purpose of that video? It was to warn other people, do not copy the Tren twins. If you're a parent watching this right now, would you want your kids to watch the Tren twins and try to copy them? Or would you perhaps prefer they listen to Coach Greg? Who gives better advice? And so the Tren twins are making a joke out of it. Hey, Doc, yeah, do we look natty to you? We're fine. Yet he's strapped to a friggin' hospital bed with moderate cuffs around his body, EKG looking, is he okay? Having to spend multiple hours, if not days, in the hospital. How is that fine? And so does it not make sense that I perhaps put out a warning? And then Lex Little, oh, I'm going to come to the Tren twins' defense. Saying it's just Mike now and killed by caffeine seems insincere. Gramp. 100. All right, so let's resort to name calling. Listen, I don't care. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. We've already addressed killed by caffeine. That's not what I said. That's what they said. That's from his video. I'd say if you want to prove you care, turn off monetization when you make those videos. Let's address that. When you turn off monetization, you know what YouTube does? They show that video to fewer people. Less people will hear that message. Why? Because YouTube wants to make money. And so when they can't add ads to it, there's less incentive for them to show the video. Less people being shown the video, less people watching it, less people learning from my video. And so if I actually care, I would in fact turn on monetization. Why? Because it will help out more people. Does that make sense? And so why would I try to make less money and have less people watch the video and have less people learn from the Tren twins' mistakes when I can simply post the video the way I always do? What's next? CNN, they report the news. They can't have ads. Anyone talking about newsworthy events, they can't put advertisements, commercials in their videos? What are you talking about? And many people said, oh, it's only 700 milligrams. That's not enough. No one would have problems with that. Do you really think that's all that was in there? How do we know what other ingredients might have been in there? How do we know there was no isopropyl nor synephrine or perhaps yohimbine? Was there any of that? And at what dose? And so just because it's 700 milligrams of caffeine, how do we know it's not something else? Perhaps the synergistic effect of everything, perhaps that caused a problem. And so perhaps the Tren twins should have started a half dose. Notice when I say to take pre-workouts, I say start at the half dose. Be careful. And so if you're looking for a pre-workout that likely won't have you end up in the hospital, you consider pre-pump. It's stimulant-free. There's no caffeine in it whatsoever. Pre-pumps, it's safe to take at night. It's not going to affect your sleep. And so if you're interested in pre-pump, code Greg, 15% off. And how did I come up with It's Just Mike now? I literally read a comment on their wall. One of their fans wrote that. It's just Mike now. Perhaps it's only Mike that's not in the hospital. Perhaps it's only Mike that didn't abuse caffeine. It doesn't mean that the person is dead. Imagine the insensitivity if he'd actually died if that was the exact title. Do you really think I would make a joke video and say, it's just Mike now? Really? It wouldn't say Tren twins in hospital. Guys, girls, circles. Pay freaking attention. And so the Tren twins, don't ever write us again. I mean, after all, I did nothing for them. I only coached them for free, of which they then poked fun at me. Oh, he just gave us a cookbook and said, follow whatever recipe you want. As if I wasn't there to answer each and every question, no matter when they would write me. And so, Coach Kyle, I don't envy him. He has his work cut out for him. Are the Tren twins going to compete at sub 6% body fat and win their pro cards with Coach Kyle this year? I'm not sure about that. What have they done on day 1? They were literally cheating on their diets. What about day 2, 3, 4? Well, one of them end up in the hospital, and watching their videos, they're slamming weights around, ego lifting, very, very dangerous.
Today I get a video from one of my fans that the guy was driving by the Tren twins when he totaled his car. The license plate matches up, it's the Tren twins car. He crashed into a brick wall, and the brick wall, like the retainer wall, fell on top of the roof of the car.
And so this is from Bodybuilding and BS, Nick Trilogy. Remember, go follow him on Instagram, go follow him as much as you can, has amazing videos. And in his title, it says, I'm going to continue to pray for the Tren twins. Now, I can see exactly why he would say that. I mean, remember, this is the day after one of the Tren twins was placed into hospital for overdosing on potentially caffeine and other stimulants. This is my message. Please be more cautious than last time. We've seen the Tren twins in the gym lifting very heavy weights, re-racking the weights, almost falls on his face. What is going to happen? I mean, how are they going to get to the show if they can't even make it to the gym to train? They're going to the hospital, overdoses on caffeine and other substances, and think of it, the next day, how lucky are they that they are not again at the hospital? Now, I'm not saying the Tren twins got an accident from taking in too much caffeine, but I'm telling you, if you consume or overconsume caffeine, you need to be careful. Rip to the cat, man. Had to swerve out of the way, no other way out. Me and Carly are safe, thank God. Someone asked, were you intoxicated? He said, I would be in jail right now if he was. Johnny Bravo writes, they're on a bad track. Good work, Nick. Now, seeing as I used to coach the Tren twins, and I've had numerous discussions with them back, forth, in DMs and so on, I can tell you that sometimes they're very, very upset with me, and sometimes they're very okay with me. And so, which is it? On one end, I said the Tren twins will say, never, ever write to me ever again. And I'm not even going to read this message, but don't ever contact me again. A couple of days later, hey, Greg, we didn't realize this, we didn't realize that. If you want to talk about what happened, then please reach out to me. And so, which of the Tren twins are we dealing with? Are we dealing with the nice Tren twins, or am I dealing with the evil Tren twins? I don't know. But in general, I like to help people. And so last night I was discussing with the Tren twins what went wrong, what was the possible causes. I'm not going to go into details. I don't want to talk about what they told me. But I can tell you, if they actually mean it, why don't they make a video saying, hey guys, Coach Greg, he actually tried to help us. He was coaching us for free. We didn't listen to all that he was saying, but he did in fact do his best. We didn't get fake steroids from him. We bought that somewhere else. He's doing nothing but trying to help us. And we made that video about us. He wasn't lying. He got that footage of us in the hospital saying killed by caffeine. That wasn't him that wrote that. He was getting that from another channel. And so I've had many people write in, why are you picking on the Tren twins? Leave them alone. Don't you think the Tren twins are big enough, strong enough, old enough to defend themselves? They are, in fact, adults. Y'all are acting like the Tren twins are a bunch of kids. I've had several people say, you're 48 years old, going after little kids. Really? These are little kids? They're bigger than Coach Greg. And so I can divulge this, but they have said they are going to be laying off stims for a while. Perhaps if you overdo stimulants, you don't get enough sleep, you're too hyper, it gets you aggressive, angry, and you don't make sense. Remember, please be careful and don't copy the Tren twins. I know he's the heroes of thousands, perhaps millions of people, but you don't want to go down this path. Abusing stimulants, perhaps using performance-enhancing drugs, these are very dangerous activities. Don't want you getting into car accidents. Don't want you lifting dangerously in the gym. I want you to be healthy.
700 milligrams of caffeine in the hospital, and now they're getting into not even a car accident, they drove through a brick wall.
And so with the Tren twins, all you see is the results. You see the massive biceps, the abs, the great physiques, the fans, the following. But do we in fact see the blood work? Well, do we need to really? He's in the hospital. Many people speculated, it's not from caffeine, it's from steroids. I don't know what it's from, but regardless of what it's from, how can this be good? And so yeah, Tren twins, the truth hurts. It hurts to find out that something you did, not me, resulted in you ending up in the hospital. And if I make a video reporting the fact you did some stupid shit that ended you there, well, how am I the bad guy? Lex Little. To be fair, Chris is the one who said killed by caffeine as a joke. I didn't invent that bullshit. I showed what Mike himself said in his own video. And so who looks like the fool now, Lex? Remember, if I do a natty or not on someone, I get it wrong, I change my opinion. I apologize. Did I get anything wrong? Did I say that the Tren twins were dead? I did not, but yet people, they use Chinese whisper, they hear one rumor, they share it to the next, and suddenly everyone thinks that Coach Greg said that the Tren twins were no longer with us. Never said it. Tren twins, they get to make jokes about it, and when I respond to those jokes and say, he's not dead, he's just in the hospital. How am I bad? How am I wrong? Team Greg, go at them harder than last time. And so there you have it. We're now using the Tren twins as an example of what not to do in the fitness industry. Yeah, it's working. It's got them popular, making tons of money, perhaps millions of dollars. But one thing it's not doing is improving their health. And so how long will they with us? I mean, after all, they've already ended up in a hospital. And are they actually going to make it to the competitive stage? Are they going to, in fact, be shredded and win their pro cards? Really? Does anyone think that? Time will tell. Stay tuned and find out. I'll be sure to be covering much more of the Tren twins, and I'll be going after them harder than last time. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. If you're still watching, of course you liked it. Drop a like, watch one of these two bloops, and of course, if you want the cookbooks, the training books, coaching plans by me and my team, you can get all that. Code Greg, 15% off. Free diet and training programs on the website. Join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.